The event was to talk about how to build Latino healthy families in the community and what are the needs of the Latino community now. We had over 200 Cox employees participate in the event. It was open to all employees across all of our locations. We had Cindy Benavides. She's Chief Executive Officer of LULAC.
And the fact is, hashtag, we can't be what we can't see. And what we know for sure is that Latinos are not represented at the highest level. Last week, we launched a national campaign with the Latino Corporate Directors Association going after corporations who, one, market to the Latino community, profit from the Latino community, but do not have any Latino representation on their corporate boards and in their C-suite levels.
We also had David Adame, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of Chicanos por la Causa. And he also talked about some key messages around Latino voting and how they're helping Latinos in the community.
We as a community also need to register other people to vote, whether it's your direct family or other family. We need to multiply the registration. We need to be up in the 70 percentile of eligible vote, at least, to really demonstrate our political power in this country.
So one of the panelists was Bob Jimenez, and he is Senior Vice President of Corporate Affairs. He helped highlight our Connect to Compete program at Cox Communications.
It's sad to learn just how much of a gap there is in internet access for people of color. And of course, it's not just access, but the technology, right? Just yesterday, Cox Communications President and CEO Pat Esser announced the launch of the new Cox Cares Act Solutions for Education. It's a $60 million commitment over the next year to closing the digital learning gap through a partnership with cities, with school districts, counties, and community-based organizations, all with one singular goal, and that is to help get families connected.
We have Chef Grace Ramirez, who has a show on Hogar de TV right now for HGTV.
I saw on the Food Network that there was lack of diversity, so I said, well, I'm gonna go and try to change that a little bit. And I always say to my Latinas, just like Jennifer Lopez said to me, she once said, you know, you and I were the same. And if you keep working hard enough, something will happen. And I think those words are what have carried me through.
The event helped illustrate, not just for Latino communities, but the communities in need right now, while we're in this pandemic and our children really need to focus on their education. Cox's commitment to Latino families is to bridging that digital divide.
I was very pleased to see the employees really asking some in-depth questions, right? It wasn't like, well, that's great, you know, how can we help? It was like, oh, did you hear about this program? Do you know about this? Because maybe this could be helpful to you there. It was just an exchange, a conversation. That's the culture of Cox, that they want to help. They want to help all communities. And especially when it comes to this digital divide, they're all over it. And they want to do anything they can to make sure that Cox is out in front and helping our community make sure that they're not left out for any reason. So that was something that was very special and warmed my heart.